Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a brief tour of the Ashby Public Library's webpage. We'll be looking at some of the ongoing events and upcoming events that are available on there that you can check out, as well as looking how to reserve a book and search titles to have them either delivered or where you can head down in person to pick them up. All right, to begin, go ahead and start by opening up your favorite web browser. I happen to use Chrome, but it doesn't matter. Safari, Bing, doesn't matter. Go ahead and type in the URL. We want to go to ashbylibrary.org. Alternatively, you can Google the Ashby Public Library. It comes right up. But we want to go to ashbylibrary.org. And once we get there, this is where we're going to start from. So you can see here we're on the Ashby Free Public Library's main page. And you can see we have a bunch of upcoming special events. We have a Scenic River Story event coming up, as well as a movie night. And then we also have a bunch of recurring programs that happen weekly. A lot of these are excellent. I have attended Joe Cantor's photography class. It's a fantastic introduction to basic photography principles, and I do highly recommend it. Once we've reviewed the web page here, we're going to go up to the top right and click on Resources, and this is how we're going to begin to actually start finding books and their availability at the Ashby Public Library. So under Finding Materials, we're going to go ahead and click on that, and then once this loads here, you can see that we can find or request a book, and this is where we can search the online catalog for books held at the Ashby Public Library or any library within the network that Ashby's part of. So this is where we're going to start, and we're going to start by searching the online catalog here. So that number 1 there with the blue hyperlink, we're just going to go ahead and click on that. And then here at the top, you'll see 4 major categories: search, type, format, and library. The search is where you can specify a specific term or keyword, and then the type is where you narrow down where that keyword appears. So you can search for a particular string or word sequence that is only in the title, or you can search by, for example, the author's last name, or just everything. The format is what products are offered. The Ashby Library and all libraries have a lot more than just books. So maybe you're just interested in books, but maybe you're interested in DVDs or ebooks or books on tape or other formats. This is where we can specify that. Finally, the library tab is where we specify which libraries we're searching for. By default, it's going to be the entire network, but we can narrow this down to a specific library. In the case of Ashby, if you scroll down, Ashburnham for me is the very last one that we can see, and Ashby is right below that, so we just have to scroll down a little bit. We can either use the middle mouse button or the arrow keys on the side to scroll up and down, and then from that list, just choose Ashby Free Public Library. To search, we're going to start, I've done a little bit already just to make sure I had some good examples for you guys, but we're going to start by searching for Dune, just an example that's relevant currently. Just type in Dune and then hit enter, and once this pulls up, you see the first result is a DVD, and then immediately under that we have the book by Frank Herbert. You can see 1 out of 25 copies are available for the book, so most of them are loaned out, and you can see that 0 out of 1 copy is available at the Ashby Free Public Library, so it's not available at the physical location. However, much like a car dealership, it can be requested and shipped, so if you do request the book through using the place hold or add to basket functions on the website, it will be mailed to the library and you'll be notified when it's ready to be picked up. The place hold button can be utilized to place a hold for a single item, and add to basket can be used to make a list where you can place a large number of items and confirm them all at the very end when you're comfortable. We can take a look. I'm just adding it to the basket for now. And you can see that the title does appear in my basket, and you have a green and red button for place hold and delete. We're going to just leave this for now. I'm going to do a couple more examples, and then we'll come back to this. But in case you wanted to reserve multiple items from multiple different sources, this is where you can keep a running total of everything that you want to check out with. So now we're going to navigate back to that main page by clicking on Basic Search. And you can see it kept all of our original formats there, or all of our original criteria there. And now we're just going to search for Where the Wild Things Are, classic book from my childhood, but we can see it's nowhere near as popular. So it looks like actually that there is 2 copies available at the Ashby Public Library, as well as many copies available in the network. So this would be an example of a book title that we could actually go and physically get at the Ashby Library. And so if you go ahead and click on Add to Basket there, it'll be part of our collection, and we can come back to that at a later point when we're ready to check out. Finally, we're going to search for Star Wars really quickly here. This is just to highlight that there are other products besides books that you can also search for and reserve. So when we go ahead and click on search here, we'll see that Star Wars The Clone Wars comes right up. There are 36 out of 37 copies of this particular title, and the one at the Ashby Library is available. So just showing that the functionality works for DVDs, we can add this to our basket, and it will appear here. Now, if we go ahead and view this basket, we could request all of these items to be placed on hold for us, and then the request would go to the library. The volunteers would get these together. For example, Dune has to be mailed to us, so there'd be a little bit of a delay on that. But we'd get all these items, and then as soon as they're ready for us, we get notified, and we can swing on down and pick these up. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I'm not interested in checking out these items at this time. But this is just a basic guide on how to use the search functionality as well as how to reserve these titles. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the Ashby Library, and I just want to briefly highlight another really cool feature of the what the Ashby Library provides and what most libraries provide, which in this case is access to a large catalog of academic journals and magazines. So admittedly, this is going to be more useful if you're a student and you're doing some research, or you have a specific project or something that you're very passionate about and you want to learn a lot more in depth on it. But if you come down to the MLS catalog and information database search, and then you click on available MLS and MBLC databases, you'll be able to pull up a full list of databases. One thing on this is if it's your first time logging in, you are going to be prompted with a login screen. Just enter in. If this is your first time logging on, you are going to be prompted with a login screen. You only ever have to do this once. Just enter the numbers from your library card on the back of your library card into the field that's provided, and you should have immediate access to it. Once you're in, you're going to see that there's a ton of different academic journals and a ton of different resources here. So again, if you're doing any sort of heavy-duty research, this can be nice because in the past, you had to go to a college where you had access or pay for database access. So admittedly, this is not necessarily something everyone's going to need, but I do think it's very cool that you have a large academic database available at your fingertips, ready to go whenever you need it. Here, we're just going to begin a brief search. I'm going to use potatoes as an example, just for a random example, and we're going to look at agriculture, just to show you what it looks like to go through this process. So if you click on agriculture here, and then you go into the field and you type in potatoes, you can see that we have a tremendous number of not only magazines, but academic journals, a bunch of books, news articles that mention potatoes, images, and even some videos. So there's a ton of information that can be searched online just by having a library card. And if you need to have, if this is beneficial to you, this is a really cool resource that's completely free, fast, and saves you a trip down to maybe the college library or wherever else you would be doing your research out of normally. Thank you for taking the time to come with us and explore the Ashby website. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about how to look up a book to either check out or rent, or to see the availability of, as well as some of the additional research tools that we have. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to put a comment down below, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, feel free to swing by. We have a ton of events coming up, and we really hope to see you. Thank you, and have a great Easter.